Welcome to The Guy Doing Things. This is episode 6. So, kick back, kick out your shoes, relax, get some coffee. Or tea if you're into that. We're doing a bit of a reflection on my 30-day challenge as a kickboxer. And we're heading to Industrial Coffee Works again. Enjoy and welcome once again to The Guy Doing Things. Okay, so we're back at Industrial Coffee Works. We've all got our cappuccinos and Americanos ready for another chat. It's been, I think, 36 days since we did the last one. I've got Mornay, Lothar and Vincent van der Merwe back here. And we're just going to do a little run through on what happened the last 30 days, how it happened. Welcome back, guys.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you for having us back. It was an interesting journey.
Oh, thanks for having us back, and the journey was full of experiences.
Oh, it was awesome. Thanks so much, and I just want to say in front of everyone, thank you to Shida. I mean, you guys went out of your way, above and beyond. I had full access to the facilities there. You guys were extremely hands-on with every part of the training. And to be honest, I really felt part of the Shido family there. Everyone there is really so nice. So thank you so much for that.
Oh, it's a massive pleasure. You know, when I understand what you go through when you go through this journey. So we want to bring in everybody that comes through those doors. You're part of the family. We help you where we can, and it was a pleasure having you with us. And you did really well. On top of that.
Thanks so much. So I think from my side in that. A cover-up video, or the last video we did with you guys, I mentioned how it wasn't necessarily the most fun 30 days I had, but it taught me a lot. But and this is gloves are off now, literally. I want to hear from you guys to be what have you guys experienced from my side to tell the people, listen, okay, sometimes we saw Thornton walked into the door and he looked ticked off or whatever. Just to show, listen, what have you guys experienced? Because I'm sharing my experience now, and people they like the video or they comment something, but that's my opinion. I want to hear you guys working. I think the first left round kick I did, Vince laughed at me. So I just want to know what you guys experienced this 30 days. Was it an experience for you guys as well?
So I think for me, it was interesting to see how you evolved over this time. I mean, the person that walked through those doors a month ago, you were way different than what you are now. And that, to me, I always have respect for. Coming in there, it's a different vibe, different environment. It's a difficult task. You pulled it through. I believe you grew up, mentally, toughness, physically. You changed a lot. But I think I need Vincent to answer this one as he worked with you more one-on-one in the mornings. What I saw in the evenings, I know there was a couple of times you had quite a lot of struggles. Emotions ran high. You get frustrated, especially with the sparring. You can't get right what you want to get right. You're struggling with a certain concept and you get agitated. It happens to everyone. But you handled it overall from my side. You handled it very well. And I think you did the 30-day challenge justice. You did it well. So I think Vince can give us a bit more light on what he saw.
Yeah, from what I saw, like Mona said, we worked a bit more hands-on in the mornings. Is to see how you grew from the first day that we did our first introduction session all the way up to the fight. Is amazing to see how you grew and how all the stuff that we worked on, how to control yourself, how to keep your emotions intact, and if you experience pain or something, to try and use that as energy or channel it towards something, the goal that's at hand, to try and channel that to what you're busy with now. That was something amazing to see, and just the journey on how you evolved, the way you would think of things when you encounter challenges in the gym, with new techniques that we had to learn to get the stuff to be as flawless as possible within the 30 days. Is to see you try and transition that into life is just amazing.
Thanks so much. Okay, I'm gonna be super honest now. I think what they said was really nice compliments and stuff. But I know there was times that I walked into the gym and there's certain stuff. I know it was growth, but within a week or two, I think after in week number 2, after one of the sparring sessions I had with Vince, I literally sat down on the mat and I started crying. So it sounds nice, and it's really nice to hear the compliments from you guys, and I know that I did grow. But that growth, I think the value of that growth came at a cost. And I had to sit down with myself and say, listen, that you can't go in with the same attitude than you did previously. So, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows, definitely. But I think through the tears and through the bloody noses, I did come out on the positive side. One of the questions that popped up with a few people listening, the first blog, and that's what I wanted as well, is you guys doing this full time now. I had 30 days, came in, I enjoyed it a bunch, really, really a lot. But now I'm moving on to other challenges. You guys stay in the game, and you have been in the game for a while. How do you keep on getting strength? I mean, there's a saying, for every level there's another devil, and I think it's the same with fighting. So I just want to hear from you guys, and I think the people listening also want to know, how do you keep on keeping on in a sport like this, where everything gets, just when you master one kick, there's 70 more kicks to start doing and start mastering. So, yeah.
The most important thing that everybody has to understand is not just with martial arts, that's life in general. Just when you're over a mountain, there's another mountain. Yes. And that mountain's probably bigger than the one you just climbed over. So as we go through, you can say, just like you create calluses, when your skin gets thick and you get stronger, and the bone calcifies, it gets stronger. Same happens with your mind. Your thoughts and everything you start to control more, your emotions you start to control more. So you become more resilient to the challenges. In other words, you can take on more and more and more and more before you reach breaking point. So at this stage, for me, this is now 15, 16 years in this game. And who I was when I started and who I am now, you can't compare it. The amount of stuff I can take now before I lose composure or anything like that is not the same as what it was. So I think not just that you keep on keeping on, is you become stronger, you become more efficient, you run on a better level, and you can do all sorts of things that would seem superhuman to people that don't do it. You just become better as an individual. So that's from my side. We can do it because we grew through this whole process, and that allows us to do more and more and more. And once you see that, you can't stop. I mean, you realize how strong and how better you get. It's just life without it. To me, I would never want that.
Well, for me, I've been, to start off with, I've been with Mornay for about 10 years now. We're coming up to 10 years that I've been coached and mentored by him. So what he said is what I do or try and achieve in my daily life every day. And what I found works for me is to reflect on who I was a month ago, a week ago, 2 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever. I try and reflect to see from where I came to where I am now, to see the growth that I've achieved to keep me going forward, especially in times where I feel I'm not achieving anything, I'm stagnating, things aren't going my way. Then I would reflect back to see the growth that has happened up until this point, and that motivates me to keep going, to say that this is just temporary. I will break through and get to the other side.
Okay, so I'm glad you actually mentioned that, because I've recently been introduced to a book by Viktor Frankl. He was one of the survivors of the Nazi camps. He was a Jew in the Nazi camps. His book, Man's Search for Meaning, he wrote the reason behind people in the concentration camps surviving and the people not. And the big thing he mentioned was purpose. The people needed to have purpose. So we're going to dive a bit deeper now. So the people at home, you can get a quiet corner. We're going to go a bit deeper now. But I think I want to get this out of you guys, because for me, that's something that we need to start establishing in our lives, is that purpose. So how do we search that for that meaning? So that purpose for you guys, when they say dig deep, when you're tired or whatever, pushed against the ropes, when you dig deep, what do you find when you dig deep? What is there? What is in that deep space?
Well, first, like you said, I always say to people, you have to have a strong why, and that's pretty much purpose. You have to have a good reason for doing what you're doing, otherwise it won't last long. So for me, if things get tough, and it depends on the context, but let's say, you're in a competition or you're training for a competition and it's getting really hard, you're getting up, your body is sore, joints are aching. The thing we do, or me personally, is you dig deep to find out, why did you start this? Why was it important for you to finish this thing? Maybe for you, doing martial arts is to become a better individual so you can look after your family, provide for them, always stay strong because you're the pillar of strength. If you crumble, your whole household crumbles, you understand? So for me, that's your why. And if you cling to that why, you can persevere. You can take a lot of stuff before you give up. So when I dig deep, besides having, obviously I am highly spiritual, I believe in God, and I have that power that I feel backs me in my purpose and my destiny. Besides that, I have the why of why I decided to go on this journey, and I remind myself of it daily. Otherwise, the struggle gets tough, in life in general. So that's what I do to find that.
The first thing that comes to mind is people that told me you can't achieve what I've already achieved in my life. And those people will always sit in the back of my mind as fuel to keep me driving from one goal to another, whether it be small goals or big goals. Is they'll keep driving me. That's just the like first go to, and then on just a deeper level is I grew as a martial artist. My obviously my emotional resilience, my mental toughness, and all that grew, as well as my spirituality grew. The better I got and the stronger martial artist I got, the stronger my spiritual journey became. And I leaned more on it and relied a little bit more on it. So for me, it's just not to give up on that, and to make all that journey be for nothing. You come all this far and then did all the hard work you had to do, and then up until this point where you have to prove your hard work and show it to the world, and then choose to not show it, and then be all of that years of behind the scenes work where people haven't seen be for nothing. Yeah. All that work just to show it to the world and make it, hard work pays off. For me, that's the thing. All the hard work just to make it pay off. That's a big thing. Not to waste my own time with all the stuff that I've done.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. I think that puts a lot of what you do, going through all that pain, it puts it into perspective. There is a reason behind doing it. So, for the guy doing things, we know what's next. There's a few running challenges, a few cycling challenges. But for you guys, what's next for Shido? Where can the guys get involved? What's next for you guys personally and for Shido? What can we look forward to?
Well, first off, tomorrow is a big day for us. So we got Vincent over here. He's fighting for the South African title belt. So if he wins that fight, well, not win, when he wins the belt, he'll be the South African champion in that division. So that's a big one. We also have up-and-coming guys. We have one of our female fighters going to the World Championships this month. So we have that as well. We've got big things on the horizon. Next weekend we have a grading where the guys grade for the next belt and all that kind of stuff. So we've got big stuff coming up for Shido. One at a time. Tomorrow the belt. That's our priority now. So the man sitting right here.
Yeah, so like Mona just said, tomorrow is D-Day. I'm going to go fetch my belt quickly. Unfortunately, there's someone standing in my way, so I have to go through him quick. And then, it's just to make sure that we as a team, a management team from Shido, and just the whole Shido family ends the year off strong. To get all the guys prepped for their gradings, to get our female fighter that's traveling to Worlds, to make sure that she's done all the preparation that she's possibly can done, to make sure that she ticked all the boxes, get all that done. And I think once the year's ended, is just to rest, recuperate, and prepare for next year.
Great, awesome. So just for the record, tomorrow is the 9th of November. So that means by the time you're listening to this, Vince will already be having his belt, hopefully. So, and then if you're not following them on Instagram or Facebook yet, go to Shido Fighting Systems, follow them there. And for those of you who want to get summer body ready, they do fitness as well. I've been to those fitness classes; they're hectic. So go pop in there, do some squats and push-ups. Get ready for December. Get back for back, and if you want to get into the fighting scene as well, please join them. If you're in Centurion area, in Pretoria area. Guys, once again, thank you so much. Is there any closing comments from you guys?
Yes, I would like to just come back to what we said earlier, and this is something for everybody listening. Maybe this will help you with what you're going through and what you're tackling on in the new year, especially now that we're reaching the close of 2019. I always tell the people this story. In Thailand, there's a martial art called Muay Thai, which children from a very young age start fighting, and they actually fight for money. It's actually quite hectic, and they help the household support themselves. You know, the dad doesn't bring in enough money, so the children actually help. So now I want to paint this picture for you, just to bring back to what we said about purpose and why. Is you have a child fighting for money, and if he doesn't win, he doesn't get paid. If he doesn't get paid, they don't get food, and that's rough. Yeah. So now you put that child up against the child from here who fights for a medal, a trophy. So if he wins, there's no repercussion at all. They try again next time. Who do you think's going to win? Obviously the child fighting for a bigger purpose. You can't afford to lose. And that's what I want to leave you guys with, is if your why is strong, if you can't afford to fail, you won't fail. So make sure that you're in touch with your why, with your purpose, and you will succeed and you will do miraculous things.
Thanks so much, man. Vince, anything from you? I don't even see you shaking for your fight, so I'm presuming you're ready, man.
Of course he's ready. The old cliche goes, I've been born ready. I'm born ready. No, it's. We've been prepping for this fight since I think 23 September. It's actually a rematch. We fought on the 21st September. Fight got ended by an accidental headbutt that resulted in a cut. So unfortunately, I was the one receiving the cut. So they had to stop the fight due to the rules of the sport says the cut's big enough and the blood and stuff, it stops it just for safety purposes.
Yeah.
So 23 September, back in the gym Monday, got the head straight, got the plans going, and we've just been grinding out day in, day out. That's all my life has been going around, is this fight, making sure that I achieve my goal, which is becoming the champ, title holder.
Yeah.
I believe fully within myself that I'll do it, and I've done everything I can. Now it's just to go and fetch the belt.
Awesome. We can't wait to see you sporting the belt, and thank you so much for your time. Have a good night's race. Mornay, thank you so much. Mornay is going to join us for Perspective tomorrow, so tomorrow as well, being the 9th of November. These episodes come out later, but thank you so much for joining us, and it was awesome. Thanks.
It's a massive pleasure. Thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow.
And to you, the listener, thank you for supporting the guy doing things, for supporting the challenges, and being here for episode 6. Can't wait for episode 7 to come out. We may be having another challenge. Who knows? But we'll see you then. Cheers.